Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom, there lived a young man named Aladdin. He had it all. His heart was full, his pockets were deep, and the love of the beautiful Princess Jasmine was his. They had gotten rid of the magic lamp with all its wishes, and genie just to live a simple, peaceful life together. One day, Aladdin went to an antique market near the palace. It was filled with dusty furniture, old oil paintings, and broken jewelry. Aladdin was uninterested in any of that, until he saw a huge ornate mirror tucked away in a corner. Something about it seemed familiar, yet he couldn't quite put a finger on it. As he wiped off the dust to get a better look, the old merchant warned him, "Don't do that, son. That mirror ain't right. It's got some mighty powerful magic in it, magic that's best left undisturbed." But Aladdin wasn't one to heed warnings, especially when they came from shady old men trying to sell him something. So he bought the mirror, took it home, and hung it up in his bedroom. That night, as the moon shone brightly through the glass, the mirror glowed. Suddenly, images flickered within it, showing a world much like his own, yet horribly corrupted. In this twisted realm, tall buildings scraped the sky, but they were made of filth and grime. People scurried around, but their faces were twisted into grotesque sneers. And in the center of it all stood Aladdin, or rather a dark, evil version of himself, clad in black robes, holding a staff that crackled with sinister energy. This malevolent Aladdin was surrounded by guards, all of them bearing his face, except their eyes burned with a cold, soulless fire. Before Aladdin could react, he was sucked through the mirror. He tumbled into a dark abyss, the images from the mirror flashing before his eyes. When he finally landed, he found himself in a grimy alley. Buildings loomed over him, their windows reflecting the twisted images of the people below. He quickly realized this was the world he had seen in the mirror. But how could he get back? And what was that evil version of him up to? As he tried to find answers, he found trouble in the form of a burly guard with a cruel grin. Well, what do we have here? A stray cat in a dog's world, the guard sneered, advancing on Aladdin. But Aladdin wasn't so easily intimidated. Years of dealing with royal suitors had taught Jasmine's father, the Sultan, to stand up for himself, even if it meant getting into a fistfight with a heavily armed guard. When the guard charged, Aladdin dodged and landed a swift kick to his knee. The guard howled in pain. Aladdin didn't hold back, fought with everything he had, adrenaline pumping through his veins. Soon, the guard lay groaning on the ground, clutching his injured leg. Taking advantage of the distraction, Aladdin slipped past the other guards and disappeared into the maze of dark alleys. Soon came across a group of people huddled together. They looked like Aladdin's doppelgangers, but their clothes were tattered, and their faces showed fear and defiance. "Who are you?" Aladdin asked cautiously. One of them stepped forward, her eyes blazing with determination. "We're the ones who refuse to bend the knee to that tyrant. We call ourselves the Free Faces, because we do want to turn into soulless shells of ourselves like he has done to our parents and friends," she said, gesturing to the menacing figure standing behind them. "And you're not from around here, are you? You look different?" "I'm here to get back home," Aladdin replied, feeling a surge of sympathy for these people. "That mirror, where does it lead?" The woman's eyes widened. "You have the mirror with you?" "Yeah," Aladdin said, pulling it out from behind his back. "I think it might be the only way to stop him." "Then we need to go to the Mirror Palace at once," the woman exclaimed. "That's where he keeps the mirror that allows him to spy on us and suck those who oppose him into this dimension." She explained that this world was trapped in an endless night, cut off from the sun and stars by the evil Aladdin's magic. He kept the portal open only to gather more followers, draining their souls and adding their faces to his army. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Aladdin agreed to help them infiltrate the Mirror Palace and close the portal. The journey was fraught with danger. They had to cross rooftops to avoid the guards, sneak through dark tunnels, and evade traps set by the palace's automated defenses. Throughout it all, Aladdin's resourcefulness and quick thinking proved invaluable. He used his knowledge of magic, gained from his experiences with the genie, to disarm traps and even conjure minor illusions to confuse the guards. Finally, they reached the palace. It was a towering structure of obsidian, its surface shimmering with an eerie glow. As they crept inside, Aladdin noticed that the palace's architecture was familiar, like a twisted reflection of his own palace. Suddenly, the floor beneath them rumbled. From the shadows emerged figures clad in dark armor, their faces obscured by helmets. The Watchers, the woman whispered, her voice tight with fear. They won't hesitate to attack. With a nod to his companions, Aladdin drew his sword and prepared to fight. As the battle raged, Aladdin and his companions fought bravely, but the Watchers were relentless. Just when it seemed all hope was lost, the Free Faces rallied. More and more of them joined the fray, their numbers swelling, their spirits high. Together, they overwhelmed the Watchers. In the ensuing chaos, Aladdin found himself face to face with his evil self. Both clad in black, both with swords drawn, they circled each other, the air between them crackling with tension. "So you've come to take me down, little lamb?" the evil Aladdin sneered, his voice echoing with malice. "You don't understand what you're up against." "I know you only want to cause pain and suffering," Aladdin retorted, his voice ringing with righteous anger. With that, he lunged. The battle was fierce, a clash between light and darkness, hope and despair. But as the fight continued, Aladdin began to tire. His evil counterpart was strong, too strong. To win, he needed a plan. Suddenly, he had an idea. He pretended to falter, to become weaker, baited the evil Aladdin, hoping to provoke him. And it worked. The evil Aladdin grew impatient, believing victory was at hand. He pressed his attack, giving Aladdin just the opening he needed. In a swift move, Aladdin disarmed his evil counterpart, sending the sword clattering to the ground. The evil Aladdin snarled, reaching for his fallen weapon. But Aladdin was quicker. He picked up the sword and pointed it at the mirror on the wall. The mirror, the source of the evil Aladdin's power, flickered, sensing its master's defeat. "No," the evil Aladdin screamed, scrambling to stop him, but it was too late. With a final cry of defiance, Aladdin plunged the sword into the mirror. The mirror exploded in a shower of shards, sealing the portal forever. With that, the dark mirror world began to collapse. The sky turned a sickly green. Then slowly, the light of the real world began to pour in, chasing away the darkness. The people gasped, their faces no longer twisted but filled with wonder and gratitude. Aladdin felt the familiar tug as he was pulled back to his own world. He reappeared in his bedroom, the remnants of the mirror lying at his feet. Relief washed over him, but it was short-lived. He had destroyed the mirror, but what would happen to this world and its people now? Was the evil Aladdin gone for good? As dawn broke, bathing his room in golden light, Aladdin knew he had to do something. He couldn't just sit back while innocent people suffered, so he did the only thing he could. He arose, determined to find another way to help them. Back in the real world, Aladdin found the Sultan and the royal advisor, explaining what he had seen. Though skeptical at first, the Sultan was eventually convinced by Aladdin's pleas and agreed to help. Together, they devised a plan. Using the resources of the kingdom and Aladdin's knowledge of magic, they created a beacon, a magical device that would draw power from the sun and magically transport water, food, and medicine to the people of the mirror world. Every morning as the sun rose, the beacon would glow, bathing the city in light and providing hope for the people. Every evening, as the moon shone, it would glow again, delivering supplies to the grateful populace. Years passed, and the people prospered. The Free Faces, led by Aladdin's companion, became symbols of courage and hope. They rebuilt their world, turning it into a place that reflected their indomitable spirit. As for Aladdin, he returned to his life with Jasmine, but he was changed. Adventures had made him wiser, more responsible, and most importantly, humble. He kept the story of the Free Faces alive, a reminder of the darkness that magic could bring, but also the light. He never used magic for personal gain again, only for good. And whenever he saw a flickering candle flame, he remembered the beacon, a symbol of hope in the darkest of nights.